Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am responding to a video uploaded by The Lord is My Shepherd 1. The original of this video was done by Philo71, who is a YouTube partner, a proponent of Christianity and of Jesus Christ. The title of the video is How Can Atheists Ignore Historians During the Time of the Jesus? And this right off the bat presents problems and is misleading to any viewer watching it. As it is well known, there is not a single first-hand account to Jesus during the time in which he lived, roughly 5 BCE to 33 CE. There's no biblical, non-biblical, Christian or non-Christian source that exemplifies first-hand knowledge to Jesus of the Gospels. The earliest information comes from the epistles of Paul, written no earlier than 50 CE, which is at the earliest 17 years after Jesus' reported death and subsequent resurrection. I don't have the time to talk or discuss all of the personalities mentioned in this video, but there are two that I want to go in depth with specifically. That would be Philo's referencing of Suetonius and Phlegon. Suetonius wrote the Lives of the 12 Caesars. This is a work that is commonly recited and used by historians, scholars, and used extensively on a collegiate level in numerous educational programs. In the book of Claudius 25:4, Suetonius reports that as the Jews were making constant disturbances at the instigation of Chrestus, he expelled them from Rome. Now, in Philo's video, he inserts Christus instead of Chrestus. There is an extant manuscript that contains the term Christus, but as Van Voorst illustrates, a moderate Christian scholar, illustrates that it is unlikely that Suetonius wrote about a Christus. Quite simply, in the Latin text, Suetonius uses the term impulsor. Impulsor and Cresto or Crestus go with one another. And more importantly, it's not that an instigation took place at the hands of Chrestus, but more specifically that Chrestus himself was the instigator. That is why it is so important for the Latin term impulsor in the text. If Christus was actually being referenced, then that would mean that Jesus of the Gospels came back down to earth 16 years later after his death and instigated an uprising of Jews so that Emperor Claudius would subsequently expel them from Rome. It just doesn't make sense, nor would any writer mention that. It appears that Chrestus is rather a name or unknown to us Jew, who was not of a lot of importance. Acts 18:2 does mirror or correlate to Suetonius's expulsion of Jews from Rome. The major difference between the two texts is that Suetonius mentions a Chrestus, whereas Paul discusses an Achaia and Priscilla. Those are the characters involved in his passage. But Paulus Orosius was the first to claim that the expulsion took place in 49 CE, and the majority of scholars today do still believe in that dating to the event. So there's no way that if in fact Suetonius was discussing Christus that he would have still been alive in 49 CE, 16 years after his death. It's just absurd. And his Philo's misrepresentation and insertion of Christus instead of Chrestus only showcases what he would wish would be present in Claudius 25:4. The second of the two that I want to reference would be that of Phlegon. Now, Phlegon is referenced, cited by Julius Africanus, who is later cited by Eusebius of Caesarea. Julius Africanus claims that Phlegon's account of a darkness over the earth, an eclipse of the sun, was the actual testimony to what happened during the crucifixion of Jesus. It is said that there was a darkness over the earth. However, the work that contained that information is now lost to us. So we don't know what he actually said. All we know is what Africanus and Eusebius says of him. We all remember the gospel accounts to where Jesus' crucifixion was hurried to transpire before the Jewish festival of Passover. Passover always falls on a full moon. And when a full moon is present, it is scientifically impossible to have an eclipse of the sun. Furthermore, Phlegon, I don't know how any scholar or layman can cite him as evidence to the historicity of Jesus, as professed in the Gospels. Two of Phlegon's work are extant to us today. Importantly, on long-lived persons, and the more important of two would be that of marvels. In this book of marvels, Phlegon writes about sex changers, hermaphrodites, ghosts. He writes about pregnant males, and he talks about males giving birth to children. He also talks about centaurs, which are the Greek mythological creature of half horse, half human. Phlegon documents that they were alive and well in this work of marvels. Phlegon is the equivalent to an ancient tabloid writing. To be able to claim that this personality of Phlegon, based on what we know of him through the extant works that have survived, to look anybody in the face with a straight look and claim that he is offering veracity to a historical Jesus, or to what transpired on Earth, knowing that it was scientifically impossible because of the full moon, is just absurd. Phlegon should be removed from the list entirely and forever. I cannot fathom how someone talking about a male giving birth to a baby and under one breath, and under that same breath offer some sort of factuality to a darkness falling over earth at the time of Jesus' reported crucifixion, it goes together about as good as oil and water. Maybe Philo 71 will see my response here. Maybe or not. I don't know. It'll be allowed as a video response. I don't know. But if Philo 71 could just elaborate perhaps on why he said what he said. He misappropriates the dates as well. He's giving the date of their birth versus the date in which this particular writing could have taken place. And it's just those misrepresentations and the exegesis of the ancient documents that showcases Philo 71 as a misinterpreter of certain ancient documents. So I just wanted to let that be aware to those of you who might want to know. And if Philo 71 can elaborate on specifically what it is that he believes in reference to these two personalities, that would be appreciated greatly. So thanks for your time, everybody.